Hey everybody, this is Rusty at the Wichita Falls Athletic Club. Today we're going to talk about lifters, particularly deadlifting and lifters. For some reason, we still get a lot of pushback on deadlifting in lifters. Shoes that are designed to do pulls in, for some reason, people still don't want to pull in them. Right here, I'm holding a Rogue Do-In. This I would consider the gold standard for lifters. They're well built, they're affordable, and you can get them easily. There is a 3/4 inch heel on this lifter, right? One of the excuses I hear is this 3/4 inch heel will make you miss a deadlift because you're having to pull it that much more. That is a cop-out. If you're missing a deadlift because of a 3/4 inch heel, you're not gonna get the deadlift to begin with. But I'm gonna show you why this 3/4 inch heel is actually beneficial in your deadlift. All right, so I'm gonna show the difference between the height of the plate from the ground from being barefoot, wearing Converse, because those are the most popular tennis shoe to wear whenever people lift, and with lifters, okay? And we're actually gonna get some data on how far you're pulling the weight and why, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, okay? So I'm barefoot right now. I'm gonna pull this, and then my handsome assistant, Nick, is going to go ahead and measure the bottom of from the bottom of the ground to the plate. Twenty-one and 8. All right, so now I'm gonna put my cons back on, and then we're gonna do it again. So now I have my Converse on. Again, this is probably the most popular shoe people lift in that aren't lifters or barefooted. This is just anecdotal, but I've been to more than one seminar where somebody was determined to lift in Converse, and lifting in a soft-soled shoe is not a smart idea. They didn't realize it in their squat, but their heel was actually coming out of the canvas and touching the ground. You can't tell me that's good for your foot. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. I'm gonna pick up this deadlift. Nick is going to measure from the ground all the way up to the plate, and we're gonna write down that number. All right, so now I've got some do-ins on with a 0.75 inch heel, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna measure the bottom of the plate to the floor.
That's right, 22.
All right, so we did our measurements with no shoes, with Converse, and then with lifters, okay? I had an online client, whenever I got her, she was pulling without shoes on. I told her, wear your lifters. And the first time she sent me a video, she said, I feel like I'm pulling this bar 9 miles into the air. Less than an inch. You're not missing deadlifts because of less than an inch. You're not gonna miss a deadlift because of less than an inch. This is an excuse, okay? Between no shoes, cons, and lifters, there's less than an inch that you are pulling. Now, why would we still wanna wear lifters even if we are sacrificing a little bit of length of pull? We want our metatarsals to be protected. We wanna be pushing off of a flat, unmalleable surface. And the sole in a lifter is that. We don't have a squishy sole to go through. Our foot isn't gonna shift around because of the metatarsal straps. Our feet are protected because of it. But more importantly, there's more knee extension out of the bottom of the pull, okay? Knee extension is what gets the bar moving. In the very bottom, your knees pushing out, you pushing the floor away, is what gets the bar moving. Now, this is not to scale, but this is a good representation of what's happening whenever we put a lifter on, okay? This is without a heel, okay? All the measurements of the actual foot I drew are the same measurements, okay? So let's say this is midfoot, and let's say this is the bar, okay? Because the angle of the ankle joint is higher, we get more knee extension. We get more shin angle into it. On top of shin going forward and pushing out to the arms in a properly executed deadlift setup, we get more knee extension. I would happily sacrifice less than an inch to have more knee extension to help me out of the bottom of the deadlift. That is a benefit from having a heel on our lifters, okay? This is the big thing that nobody talks about whenever we talk about wearing lifters. You get more knee extension, and that is very important whenever we're pushing off the floor, okay? So there's lots of reasons to wear lifters. Again, a more secure foot, a solid surface to push off of because the sole won't squish, and knee extension. It is very important that we have more knee extension out of the bottom. That will assist us getting the weight off the floor, okay? So I hope this clears up a few things about wearing lifters and deadlifts. If you don't want to wear your lifters during deadlifts, then don't. I really don't care. But it's more beneficial to do it. I will say this, though. Lifting barefoot in a gym is gross. Don't do it.